A Show,
where smart is the new sexy.
And now, April Hunter.
Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Have a wonderful Tuesday. We're having a wonderful Tuesday. Sorry, I'm thrown. It's one of those days. So welcome to the A Show. Woo! So I'm your hostess, April Hunter. This is my lovely co-host, Eva D. And I don't know why our little banners aren't coming up anymore. StreamYard is failing us miserably in that department. But we have an amazing show for you tonight. We are going to have Eden from Eden's Essentials come on. She's a psychic medium, and I'll let her explain.
Yeah, she's everything.
Yeah, but she owns Eden's Essentials up in Newport Richie, and it's an amazing store with kind of all encompassing all the new age, and she's Native American, and she's going to explain astrology, and not astrology in the dumbed down stupid version that we've been told, but real astrology and how deep it gets, and how, a little bit of a history and what it actually means, and how it's still used, how it's always been used. And I think that'll be really, really interesting, because a lot of people don't really understand it and understand the context. I mean, there's a reason why an overwhelming majority of global events are actually done on the new moon system, what the new moon. So, I mean, you know more about this than I do.
Yes, everything's aligning. Everything that's going on in the world today is surprisingly aligning. Mm-hmm. By the way, can you hear me okay? I took your advice and got a mic. So, okay.
You sound wonderful.
Ooh, look at that. Thank you. Everything's aligning as this should be right now. So it'll be interesting to hear her perspective, being she works with that a lot more than me. I'm just a dabbler in when it comes to astrology. So
yeah, she's kind of a professional. I'm looking forward to
professional. A lot of things. Yeah, she's actually she was my mentor and teacher for tarot.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yes, and other things, and hoodoo and other things. So I look forward to it.
Yeah, we also have a couple things to cover that, of course, the mainstream media is not talking about. So we'll get onto those before she joins us. But in the meantime, we wanted to welcome you. So welcome. I see Ricardo. You were here bright and early. Welcome. Who else is here? Big Wig. Hi. Michael, Alex, Allie, cool, awesome dude. Red Sunny, what's up? What's up? Winona, hello. Michael, Steve, welcome everybody. If you can share this podcast, share it on social media. If you're watching and you haven't logged in, please do. We love having your comments on here. It's really, really cool. Do
you want to talk about our sponsor real quick before we move forward?
Sure.
This is going to be a big conversation today.
Yeah, we do have a big conversation. So if you're not aware, BRICS has come out, BRICS. It's a different currency, and that is why the dollar has been it's part of why the dollar's been in free fall. So for those who don't understand why a 99-cent package of Lay's potato chips is now $2.50, I will explain this in a very short thing here. The dollar used to be backed by gold, and then it was backed by petrol. And what happened during the last administration was they decided to boycott Russia with everything. I mean, everything. I mean, everybody was cheering, yay, screw them, let's take away McDonald's, right? Well, they got upset. Russia got upset, and they decided as retribution, they were going to tank us in every way possible and start a war without firing a missile. So what they did was they started what was called BRICS currency. So BRICS, it stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And in the meantime, many, 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 many other nations have joined in. And the Saudis have decided to stop backing our dollar with their petrol. So now our dollar has been in free fall for a couple of years now. That's why a 99-cent bag of chips is now $2.50. It's a same bag of chips, just like your parents, your grandparents' house might have cost $30,000. Same house, now worth $500,000. It's not worth $500,000. That's how much our money has depreciated. So what you can do, because this is not going to stop, what you can do to protect yourself is buy gold. So buy silver, buy gold, buy finite resources that secure your future, secure the future for your family, and keep it stabilized, if not growing, because gold keeps going up and up and up.
Oh my God, yeah. Look at it now.
200 gold and protect yourself so that that dollar that keeps dropping, Bitcoin's all over the place. Protect yourself with actual precious metals. So this is, Wolfpack Gold. They're a veteran-owned, very reliable, very trusted company. So Wise Wolf Gold and Silver Exchange. They've given me, I have my own URL, so you can go to aprilhunter.gold. And if you choose to do a recurring buy, which you can do with as little as $50, you can start investing. You can also use the code 1776, and they'll shoot you over some free constitutional silver too. So
which is pretty cool.
Thank you to our gold sponsor. We appreciate
Absolutely.
it very much. So yeah, we have a lot going on. I don't know. Yeah, Michael, ghost chips are expensive.
Oh, don't forget inflation with air in the bag too.
Oh my God. Yeah, I can't get over how much ice cream is right now. Like a thing of ice cream is $6 for a single. It's like, are you kidding me?
but tell everybody what you found out though. How much they can pack into real ice cream, like a Haagen-Dazs.
Yes.
It's amazing how much is in that same container compared to others.
Yeah, you have to be careful. When you look at your ice cream, you might not be getting ice cream. So now ice cream labeling is a little bit deceptive. It's a lot of them are frozen dairy dessert. So you have to have a certain amount of fat, milk fat, and certain ingredients to actually be called ice cream. So Haagen-Dazs is one of your best bets. They have kept it pure and real.
You taste the difference.
Yeah, and one of their containers, which really only looks like a double size of their small ones, there's a lot in there. It's surprising.
Yeah,
it's not full of air. One and, no, it's dense.
Yeah,
so you're getting your money's worth there for
definitely.
$10.
So. Look for a BOGO.
Yes, and bigwigs going back to smaller. So it's shrinkflation. These they're raising their prices and making smaller packaging.
Every fucking thing you got to look at it. Look at the coffee thing. So just real quick. Me and April, thanks to the coffee connoisseur here, April, I started getting the same bag and noticed that all of a sudden that bag started shrinking. Now I can't find it, and the ounces are less. And now I think you found it in beans only, but it took a lot of searching.
That was a good deal. So I sat there. I bought that 38 ounce in the beans. I sat there and ground little by little last night the beans, and I filled up an entire bag of my normal bag, and I still have at least half. I've got more than half the bag left.
Awesome.
So when you grind it down, it actually makes more, not less. I was surprised.
Okay, good to know. Check that out, everybody, if you're coffee people. And Michael, I disagree a little bit with that on the pizza. It depends where you go, because you still get a 16-inch, and we had them at work today, 16-inch around the corner. I'll tell you where. When you get time, Michael. So in Newport Richie, actually, I'm going to tell you now, slice of life, and it was delicious. So check it out, Michael.
Yeah. Sorry, my cat was about to throw a hissy fit.
We don't want that.
Yeah, he had
That's a big
to
cat.
go out on the porch. So okay, so there's a lot of stuff going on. I did remember we had that blank deer in the headlights look like a week or two ago when we were like, oh yeah, with all the dumb stuff going on between Elon and Trump. There was actually some real stuff going on. We remembered what that real stuff was. Chinese biohazards being smuggled into this country to affect our food supply. So multiple Chinese scientists out of University of Michigan, and hi to everybody joining us, have been caught. Now, this is what we were trying to tell you several weeks ago, have been caught smuggling in a biohazard fungus that affects the food supply and kills it. Now, for those of you who aren't aware, this is what has decimated the Florida citrus industry. And it had a Chinese origin. It has literally destroyed the orange crop. So there have been generations upon generations of farms here that can no longer grow citrus anymore. So some kind of underground traveling fungus that has just killed off the crops. It was similar to that. So there's a real attack on our food supply going on. So
Be careful.
Yeah, that's what flew under the radar when the Elon and Trump thing was going on. That's what wasn't in the news so much.
Pay attention to your local crops and what's going on. Everything and everywhere. Try to buy as local as you can from the local farmer. Chances are they have a lot less pesticides and all these things in them, which now also too, the whole farm thing up in the Midwest with all the chemical dumpings, and they're closing farms down due to contaminations. So
yeah. And Steve says he subscribes to Trade Coffee and he loves a variety, but he's noticed the bags aren't as full as before. Yeah.
I don't know what Trade Coffee is.
I'm not familiar too, but I think that's going around. Around. Yeah, we're going to probably have to have another show soon where like how to cut corners in every way possible.
That's a great idea. What do you guys think out there?
Yeah.
Of that. So throw ideas out there, send them to April, put them on Twitter or something, or send them to I don't know, different variations where to find April and me.
Yeah,
we'll get them on there.
We're starting to get real crafty with things. And Ibzan, thank you. My Amazon wish list is on Twitter April Hunter. It's like right at the top. And I absolutely love when people spoil me. It's fantastic.
Spoil it so much. Too.
I appreciate it so much. Yeah.
Have you updated your list at all recently?
Yes, I did. Yep.
Excellent. Yeah. Go check it out.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah. Matter of fact, let me see. I'll give you guys a sneak peek. No one has seen this yet except for my patrons. So if you're on patreon.com, April Hunter, you have seen this.
Wrong one.
But,
Oops, I put up the wrong one. Sorry.
Okay. But, yes. Hang on. Let me find it. I got a sneak peek for my peeps of the first picture back from the shoot last Wednesday. And there we go.
Wow. That looks fantastic.
Wearing a bikini there. I am wearing a bikini. It's a little silver one.
Well, but you know where
there's my hat that I got from Amazon. You can see it.
Is that the one the tinfoil's on? Or is that tinfoil hat?
Yeah, that's my tinfoil hat. That is a flag. That's a Second Amendment flag. I didn't know what to do, but I got it from Hootie. I got it from our friend Hootie. I won it in a what was it? A white elephant thing, Christmas thing.
White elephant.
I'm
Christmas,
like, I don't know what to do with this. And I was like, oh, I'll use it for a shoot. Why not? And then the swimsuit came from a fan who sent it to me. The boots came from a fan who gave them to me. The socks came from Amazon. When you give me a gift card, that's where my shoot stuff comes from. So thank you. There's more of those coming, and I'm going to start my countdown to 4th of July, like I do every year and every holiday. It's going to be on my Patreon page. So if you're on my Patreon page, patreon.com, April Hunter, I'm going to start adding all those up.
Yeah.
So
you guys know where to find her.
Yep. And when I said small personal use farms aren't doing very well either. My dad has put out one in the last 2 years and it's barely gotten anything to come up. Yeah. And there's a lot behind that, actually. There's a lot of tainted. There's a lot of stuff going on. And that's a whole nother situation, show. We can get into that.
Ask around, by the way. Ask your friends, ask your neighbors. You know, who do you use? Do you know anybody that's growing anything? That's word of mouth is probably by far the best way to find your local people right now.
But let's rip through this. We got a couple of things to talk about before Miss Eden joins us. So we are facing a public land sale here in the United States, and all of us, everybody, should know about this. This is a big deal, and we only have until a couple of days into July to stop it. Now, I know, I've talked about this before, where all the Floridians, there was a leaked memo. All the Floridians found out many public parks were being sold off to corporations for golf courses and hotels and shopping malls. That memo united Floridians across the board, and we stopped the sale of those public parks. And these are public parks with springs and fishing, and they are beautiful lands. When you think of Florida, you might not think of public parks, but that is actually what our biggest thing is here for locals. Tourism, you think of Disney, you think of beaches. That's not us. For us, it's
we go to the park. Yeah.
We swim in your drinking water. That's our thing.
That's right.
Those are the, so
Zephyr Hills water. There you go.
Yep. So this is happening on a much larger thing through this big, beautiful bill. And they are allowing millions, I think it's 2.5 million acres of public land to be sold through local senators, Republican senators, that is not theirs to sell. Public land is owned by the public, held in trust for the public. It is not theirs to sell. And they're claiming it is for the housing crisis. It is not for the housing crisis because less than 2% of that could ever be used for housing. It is so remote. So personally, my conspiracy theory is that they're taking these lands because there's a lot of water on them. And as we talked about before, AI needs that water and we're going into a water shortage.
Yes.
But it's always been a land grab.
What do you think we can do?
What we all need to do is send letters and call these Republican senators and make it known that they can't have those lands. They should not be selling them. This needs to be stopped. So because once something is taken, once a right is taken, once land is taken, once anything is taken, we never, ever, ever get it back. We never get it back. So these are lands that people go hiking on. These are trails. These are fishing areas. These are all public parks, public areas. I mean, think about, these are areas in Utah. These are areas everywhere. North Carolina. These are trails that you hike, that you camp. These are areas that you take your dog, your kids to. So,
and
this
wildlife.
Is a big deal. Yeah, this is also wildlife. So
it will affect
these
the
are
whole
not.
food
These
chain.
are not. Yeah, this should not be owned by corporations. These are our lands. So this is a big deal, and we only have a couple. Like we've got probably 10 days to stop this. So
reach out to your senators.
Make the effort. Yeah, reach out to. This is something you can look up. It's a public land sale, and under the big beautiful bill. So in Florida, since the year 2000, 3 million acres, or 3 million miles. Hang on, I'll tell you in a second.
No, you were right. Acres.
So 3 million acres of forest land have been sold off and developed. So
that should never happen.
That means that that's where all the wildlife has gone extinct. We don't have anywhere to put them. Developed. So 3 million acres. I mean, think about that. When I moved here in Florida, not that long ago, the average temperature for summer was 89 degrees across the board. It really never got much hotter than 89 degrees. The average summer temperature now is 94 and 95 because you can't strip away 3 million acres of shade that retains water and expect the temperature not to go up when concrete and asphalt radiate at 30 degrees hotter across the board. And now we're having droughts. Now we're having wildfires. Since when does Florida have wildfires?
We had a
horrific drought. We're a tropical area of the country. We're having droughts now.
Yeah, Allie, I heard about that.
What?
That it's like 100 up there, and it's 100 in Pennsylvania this week too.
Yeah. It's 90. Yeah, it's 96 here, but that's just a Tuesday for Florida.
Right. Yeah.
This is every day. We are almost at 100 degrees every single day from June through October. So that's our everyday here.
So fight for those developments. They need to reuse what's already been used. Yeah. No more cutting down things.
Yeah. If you don't want more of this happening where you are, you got to fight for this.
Okay. So yes, we do have wildfires here, but not on the scale that it has.
Yeah, not like we normally
and in
do.
other states as well, not just here. So yeah, you're right though. We've had them.
Yeah, we have wildfires, but not at this level, and we don't have droughts at this level. So tropical areas typically don't drought.
Right.
So,
well, what else we got?
Okay, so fun fact. As much as 25% of TV ad income is from pharmaceuticals.
Gee, I wonder. Sorry, this happened.
25% of ad income is from pharmaceuticals. No wonder the ads are back on the streaming. And Kenny Powers, how are you doing? Amazara, what's up? Lon, thank you for joining us late.
Yes.
Okay. We're going to talk about. Eva came up with a really interesting observation that Greenland. What was your theory on that one?
So I just caught a documentary about cities under America, underground cities in America, excuse me. So, and even though it's not America, one of the ones listed was Greenland. And
Greenland, for the Vikings, it was named that to try and lure people there because it's so obnoxiously cold. No, it was not beautiful. It's freezing.
What? Thought it has green land.
No, it is ice.
Okay.
No, it is pure
That's
ice.
New Zealand.
It's so cold.
Well, anyway, there was a gentleman that actually worked on building an underground city up there for bunkers purposes. So anyway, it got me thinking. And I was like, oh. And they rediscovered that with sonar last year. And all of a sudden, we want to have Greenland as part of America. So there's a reason. And also, too, by the way, it's the closest to other countries. Like we have Alaska on one side, then we have Greenland on the other side. So there's many reasons why. And it's pretty obvious to me now why Trump wants Greenland. Not just that. I'm sure there's other.
I should make it an AI station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So because it's cold, you don't have to worry about spending anything. Greenland's climate is Arctic with long, cold, and dark winters and short, cold summers. Temperatures vary greatly, but the average temperature is around minus 9 degrees.
So think about it.
So that would be great for AI.
So underground, I'm just pulling it up so I don't screw that up like I just did. Okay, Greenland underground city. All right, it's called Camp Century. It was a Cold War era U.S. military base. And it's a city under the ice, secretly built to house a network of tunnels, infrastructure, launching nuclear missiles, blah, blah, blah. NASA recently rediscovered it last year using advanced radar technology because it was buried. So now they want it back.
Bigwig says it was green 1,000 years ago. No.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't think it was.
that was me being stupid. Sorry. So
long day. Like it would make sense. It would save on some electric bills there as far as having to cool.
Yeah, well, it's not fair to take somebody else's country though.
No, it's not.
So okay, so what else do you have while we're waiting on Eden to roll in here?
Oh, I just wanted to say there's a lot of misconceptions around astrology. Yes. Astrology has been used for ages by every group of people. I mean, hell, how did the 3 wise men get to Jesus, right?
What? Look up?
They followed everything. So, we're talking about astrology and astronomy at the same time. So there's a lot of, I believe a lot of it was really, really dumbed down. And forgive me, I'm not having my smartest day today. I'm tired. So hopefully Eden will make up for it and she'll be the smart one in the group. But it's been pretty dumbed down for us, I think, to discredit the validity of it. So a lot of people will say, we have 12 astrological signs. Didn't used to be that way, but now with the Julius calendar, that is where we are. And a lot of people will say, oh yeah, well, I'm Libra, so I'm supposed to be this, or I'm dating a Taurus, so that's why she's this way. It's not as simple as that. And usually our rising sign, which is the first thing, our rising sign is how people perceive us. So if you don't know what you are, if you know where you were born and what time you were born, you can go to, it's called it's Astrolabe, basically. Oops, sorry.
That was me.
Silenced. You can go to astrolabe.com and find out what your actual, your rising, your moon, your everything is. So it's ALABE.com. And all you need is your time of birth and where you were born, and it will give you the entire chart, like all of it.
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, I sent it to you. I sent you the email link. It's in your messenger.
It was for her, to her email. I'm doing that now.
Huh?
It was supposed to go to her email, remember?
Oh, I gave it to you to give to her.
I'm doing it now.
Okay.
It's okay.
So somebody did a very harsh, funny astrology, a bullshit one, but it was kind of funny. So I figured it would be, since we're talking about bullshit, dumbed down ones, you guys might want to appreciate these. And this was posted on Twitter. Here's Aquarius. Aquarius, you have an inventive mind and are inclined to be progressive. You lie a great deal. You make some mistakes repeatedly because you're stupid. Everyone thinks you're a freaking jerk. Pisces, you have a vivid imagination, often think you're followed by the FBI or CIA. You have no influence on your friends, and people resent you for flaunting your power. You lack confidence, and you're generally a dipshit.
Sorry.
Aries. Hang on. You are the pioneer type, and you think that most people are dickheads. You're quick-tempered, impatient, and scornful of advice. You're kind of a prick. Taurus. You're practical and persistent. You have a dogged determination to work like hell. Most people think you're stubborn and bullheaded. You're nothing but a damn communist. Gemini. You're quick and an intelligent thinker. People like you because you're mostly bisexual. You're inclined to expect too much for too little. This means you're a cheap bastard or a cheap bitch. Cancer. You are sympathetic and understanding of people's problems, which makes you a sucker. You're always putting things off. This is why you'll always be on welfare and won't be worth a damn. Everyone in prison is Cancer. Leo. You consider yourself a born leader. Others think you're an idiot. Most Leos are bullies. You're vain and can't tolerate honest criticism. Your arrogance is disgusting. Leo people are thieving and motherfuckers, and most spend their time kissing mirrors.
Sorry.
Virgo, you are the logical type and hate discord. This crap picking is sickening to your friends. You're unemotional and often fall asleep while fucking. Virgos are good bus drivers. Virgos are good bus drivers and pimps.
Is that, wait a minute, anybody Virgo we know?
Well, the majority of people are Virgos and Libra, so here we go.
Okay.
And I forgot Capricorn, it's coming. Libra, you are the artistic type and have a difficult time with reality. If you're male, you are nil. Most Libra women are whores. All Libras die of venereal disease.
Oh, shit.
Scorpio, the worst of the lot. You are shrewd in business and cannot be trusted. You shall achieve the pinnacle of success because of your total lack of ethics. You're a perfect son of a bitch. Most Scorpios are murderers. Shut up.
Okay, I'll say anything.
Sagittarius, you are optimistic and enthusiastic. You have a reckless tendency to rely on looks since you have no talent. The majority of Sagittarians are drunks. Nixon is a Sagittarian. You're not worth the time of day. And Capricorn, you are conservative and afraid of taking risks. You're basically chicken crap. There's never been a Capricorn of any importance. You should kill yourself.
Where did you find all that? That's great.
Twitter.
Oh shit. She is having difficulties getting on, but she is here. Whoop.
Okay.
Do I hear? I think I just heard her pop on.
Okay.
Hey, there she is. Device not connected. Okay, we just gotta wait for her to get up and run. Sorry. Yep. Somehow we lost a link there for her. So anyway, I'm just gonna tell you real quick about who she is. So she is a long time. Actually, she originally is worked as in the medical field, and she has been long to be doing spiritual work, and it was guiding her to do many avenues. So her and her husband opened up a business, Newport Richie, and it is a metaphysical store where she does readings, she does spell work, she does a lot of different things. She is highly trained master's degree in many different things, from historical to biblical as well. So she is a pet owner, traveler. Her and her husband
And
are
she's a bird
also.
person, right? She's a
She is
bird
a
person.
bird person too.
Yeah.
Yes. And so she's lived locally for quite a while now. I think, is from up north in no man's land. Just kidding. So anyway, while she's getting herself set up, she is. Did we lose her again?
Apparently, yeah. You
You
gave
know
her the
what?
direct link, right?
I gave it to her a couple different ways.
Okay.
Yes. Or the invite at the bottom, right? That's what I did. I copied it. Unless she's popping back out.
Okay.
So.
No, I'm looking forward to her joining us when she can. In the meantime, the word zodiac is derived from the Greek word zodiakos, which means circle of animals, or some believe little animals.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you've ever read anything, if you are a seeker, you should check out this book, The Secret Teaching of the Ages by Manly P. Hall. Like 100 years ago, and this covers so much, this book. It's got everything from the Rosicrucians, Hermetic principles, the Orphic mysteries, secret societies. It covers Kabbalism. I mean, it's fascinating. Alchemy, Aramaic legend. So 100 years ago, it was a really interesting time. There are some really, really great thinkers. You had the Napoleon Hill, the Manly P. Halls. You had all these great speakers, great thinkers. And it was a real awakening in the 1920s. And then we had the war, and that kind of shut everybody down, I think.
Could you share that title again one more time with that book they're asking?
Oh, yeah. Secret Teachings of the Ages. So it's about a little chapter on everything, written by one of the greats.
It's a big book.
Yeah, an analysis on tarot cards.
Yes.
So it's about everything. It goes very deep into the history and mysticism of everything. The pentagram. So, I mean, a lot of people think, oh, the pentagram, it means the devil. No, it actually means the body and then the 4 elements. So earth, wind, fire, and water. So
don't those elements cross over?
And we put it on top of our Christmas tree, because that's how much we regard it. And we put it on top of our Christmas tree.
I don't see video for her. She says she's in the backstage.
I don't see her at all. Oh, wait.
Everything is spinning. I do see her.
We can try.
Yeah, we're trying to get you in there.
Okay. Does she have a bad connection?
Not sure. She said it was spinning with her.
All right. We're trying. It looks like she does not have a great connection where she's at, maybe. All right. We are trying.
Okay.
All right. Can we try to check her connection again?
Yeah, she said it happens to her in that particular room. Okay.
Can you have her go by where her modem is? Or maybe plug in?
Yeah.
So, Allie, you're funny. Allie's like, hey, I'm Capricorn. I don't think any of that is true. It was just funny to take it. So that's how dumbed down we've gotten with, astrology. There's actually a long history that's very, very complex. So, and that's one of the things Eden is here to discuss with us and how it works.
Well, something she did mention earlier is, we talked about there's certain sites you can go on and plug in and find out what sign you are, your rising, your setting, and all that, and how you feel about that. One of the ones that she actually brought up was Cafe Astrology. So I kind of looked at it today. So cafeastrology.com, it is free. So you can go in as long as you know your date of birth. And if you know what time you were born, it's very big help. And then it will give you a breakdown of what you are officially. And then if you start looking into it, then you can see whether or not it actually applies to you. Excuse me a second while I drop her a note back.
Okay. Do you have her email?
I do. Do you mind if I mute for a second and just call her?
No, go ahead. Yeah, do that. And welcome everybody joining us. Oh, Lon, you're funny. Why the Aquarius person bring a ladder to the party to reach for the stars? And yes, you are supposed to drink when the birds go crazy. Eva is babysitting a friend's bird, so she's got some extras tonight. So there are going to be plenty of opportunities to drink. So yeah. If you have your glass of wine, break it out. So yeah, I don't know if you were here earlier, or if you were not here earlier, you can go to, hang on, ALABE. It's Astrolabe, and you can put in your birth information, your time of where you are. There she is. You can put in where you were born, the time that you were born, and it'll give you your entire chart. Yeah.
There we go. All right.
Welcome, Eden. She made it.
I am so sorry. I am a medium, and sometimes that happens. I've blown out switchboards, cars, like all this stuff. I'm sorry. It does happen. And light bulbs are definitely not immune.
That's the
welcome.
The fun. Yeah, that's the fun of having a live show. You never know what you're going to get. So it is what it is. So welcome to the show. We're happy to have you. So
they were making fun real quick about your they drink here when my birds make noise. So if you see comments in there about getting extra drunk now if they hear your birds, because we told them you have birds if you didn't hear that.
I was scarlet macaw.
Oh, wait, you have more. What else?
Yes, an African gray and a black-capped kaique.
Oh, wow.
And 2 dogs and a wonderful cat.
Yes.
No.
So tell us about you.
You're one of the rare people that has a Belgian Malinois.
Yes, I do.
Oh, yeah, that's not a dog for everybody.
No, she we take her to Orlando and she gets trained up there. We have a professional trainer that we work with.
So she's
what kind of training?
Dog, right?
Yeah.
Or she's a she works. You and her, you guys both work. Do you work with the police as far as did I understand that right?
With high
my dog was bred through a DEA agent that bred his specific dog for that, and she had came from the military, is what my pedigree is, what I understand from them.
Gotcha. Okay.
And she does explosives detection, and she has done she does mostly professional protection work.
That's really cool.
It's a good way to put it. I like it.
And she's in love with Eva.
Yes.
You're lucky because awesome. A lot of times they don't like other people.
No, she's amazing, and she will jump all over me. So I miss her. I need to stop in and see her. So tell us about you real quick. So
I'm sorry, it cut out. I'm gonna be asking this.
That's all right.
You repeat yourselves. I'm so sorry because have my internet's great, but it happens.
So you're here to explain to us about astrology, because this is one of your strong points. Did you catch that?
I don't know if I necessarily call it an actual strong point. Astrology definitely has many layers, like an onion, and anybody that thinks they know everything obviously doesn't, because there's so many layers that lead us to tarot into it. It leads us into numerology. Everything is related through geometry. There's all kinds of stuff to unwrap there.
So tell us more. Tell us about you. I don't know if you could hear us on that.
No, what did you need to know about me?
Everything.
What is your background in the mysticism?
Well, I grew up Pentecostal. I'm sure everybody kind of has an idea what that is. Church of God, Holy Rollers, they speak in tongues, etc. It kind of leads into mountain magic practices, superstitions, hoodoo practices. My godparent was from Haiti, and I had found a tarot deck in a yard sale. I happened to have friends. I went over to their house. We played with these cards, and their grandmother asked where I got them and what they were for. Obviously, she knew because she ended up being my godmother and teaching me magic and getting me into voodoo, Haitian voodoo. And then I ended up, when she passed away, I ended up moving into Yoruba or Santeria because it's hard for me to move into another house. So I kind of had to start from scratch in a different area.
That's interesting. I read about the Yoruba creation myth with the chicken scratching everything into existence. Oh, that was one of the classes.
I'm sorry, you cut out for me again. I'm so sorry.
Okay. You must be in the middle of nowhere with a tough connection.
No, I live downtown.
Oh, okay.
Her room is a very much spiritual room that she's sitting in where she does all her readings.
Oh, I guess the spirits don't agree with her being here.
Yes, shit goes wild in there. Hey, when she was teaching me tarot, we were in that room.
Mm-hmm.
The shit that would happen in that room was unreal. So I'm just going to say that. But okay, well, I guess we'll have to see what happens there. We lost her for a bit.
I wonder if there's another room that she could be in that is less. What's the word I'm looking for? Maybe the spirits won't cockblock her.
Let's see. I'm texting her right now in another room. Okay, so I had done at one point the like astrology to see where I was and above and below and all that stuff. And whoop, that sounds like she might.
Yeah, it's sort of better. Her what do you call it's not coming up.
Okay. So have you ever done that personally?
Which?
Actually put your birth date in and information.
Yeah, I have. Yeah. So there she is.
I got your text message saying this is why you don't do medium readings over the phone.
Yeah, War Demon says spirits drain the energy of devices so they can manifest.
Yes. So what I was saying, Eden, is if you needed to move into the shop or in another room, you're welcome to.
It's not going to matter because I'm the problem.
Oh boy. Well, we get to see your shop then.
I'm the problem. So, I mean, I can try to move into a different room, but it's not going to matter. I'm very sorry.
That's okay.
This is why a lot of mediums do not live stream. This is why you see a lot of cards online. Sometimes if somebody's channeling spirit, there'll be, you'll get all kinds of weird interferences.
Well, you got to see a little bit of her shop there as she's walking around. You have an amazing amount of things available there. So I'm just going to do a plug-in for Eden's
I have a lot of stuff.
Newport Richie.
So we're going to try it this way. We're going to see how it goes.
Sounds good.
Michael says he's 5 minutes from that shop. He's got to go visit. Yeah, I've never been there. I'm surprised I haven't. I love going to all the mystic shops. So it's right in Newport Richie, right? Eden's Essentials.
Yes, right downtown across from the Spartan Manor.
Yeah, I got to check that out next time I'm in that area.
Definitely. So the connection seems pretty good. And what I brought up that cafe astrology you mentioned. And so can you hear us okay now?
I heard cafe astrology.
So you mentioned them.
Eva said you threatened to go deep on some astrology.
Well, today is actually a special day. If I answer about the cafe astrology is free, so is CoStar, time passages, and astro charts. Those are the four that I suggest. Your time passages and your CoStar are digital apps on your phone, and you can always pay to get more, of course. You can have your friends join you, etc. Um, but those are the ones that I would work with together. Some give you the chart, some give you the updated chart for you, for your friends, for the day. Others, they don't, or they just don't explain it well enough. So if you marry the four charts, you can usually get a pretty good free reading through that.
Love it. Thank you. What is your chart like? What is your sign? And
My sun sign is Scorpio, and I have a fire sign for rising and an earth sign for my moon. So I'm pretty well balanced as far as that goes. But there are other elements inside of your chart, such as your houses, um, that will develop certain ticks or triggers for you and different quarks that make us who we are. So even if, say, you are a air sign, like I know Eva is a Libra, so she acts a certain way, she weighs things out, she balances it. But say she might have some fire in her chart somewhere and she overreacts. If she has an Aries in there, she might knock your block off.
So most people make the mistake of only looking at their sun sign. They don't understand that they're supposed to be looking at their rising and their moon as well, right? So they have to be taking into account all three signs.
Absolutely.
And it's possible all three signs could be the same sign. So it's unusual, but it could happen.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, those are like the triple threats. You have your doubles, you have your triples. Like my husband is a double Scorpio, and then he has
Me
an
too.
air sign in there, so he's sometimes he can get a little emotional.
Okay. So that's the primary reason why most people will look at a basic horoscope in a newspaper or on a website and be like, "Oh, it's not applicable to me," or this didn't happen, or this doesn't describe me, or I want it to describe me, but it's not, because you're not really getting all the information. And the average person doesn't understand that about
Right.
taking their entire chart and definitely picking those top three signs.
Yeah,
no, they don't. And when you read a horoscope, say from a I
know.
In this room, I have a giant clock.
Okay.
Yes.
So no birds, guys. Sorry, no birds. Not in this room.
I'll drink for you.
So what I have here.
I'm sorry, you're delayed.
Generic. I know, like I said, it's me. It's not the internet connection. The internet's great. It's me.
I know I looked up mine actually because I forgot mine was Libra, Aquarius, and Cancer on my ascending and moon and sun. Of course, there's mixed in a bunch of other shit, which makes sense for me anyway. But I encourage everybody to look at those sites. And do you have questions for Eden while she's here too?
Well, from what I understand, it's the rising sign is how we are perceived by others. So you might be a Virgo, but if your rising is Aries, that's the part that most people are going to perceive you as. Is that something you've heard?
What I recommend, and I think I'm still delayed, but what I recommend is finding out what your moon, sun, and ascending or your rising sign And you can generically read those 3 horoscopes and see which one resonates with you, because it depends on where all the other planetary alignments are. And if I start getting really deep into that, I'm going to lose half the people that I'm talking to, because
Try
they're
it.
not going to understand.
Try it.
Try it. You never know.
Houses and things like that. We talk about triads and things like that. So what I want to say is, when we write in a generic astrology chart, we track the planets and where they are and how they're going to affect each sign. So that's why I suggest reading 3 horoscopes instead of just your sun sign. So as of today, so I have a picture I was going to share with everybody, and we'll see if I can actually bring it up. But this is what the planetary alignments look like today. It says there's an issue with my file and to try again later, because that's just the way that I roll, I guess. And on June the 24th, which is today, it's said to be one of the luckiest days of the year, especially for our cardinal signs. And this is where it's affecting. So that is our Aries, Libra, of course, and our Capricorns. This is a big shift for them, because this is something that's going to happen and it's going to last for the next decade. So
Really?
Jupiter is rolling. Yes, it's like it only happens once in the in the next decade. So this is something, it has a funny name. It's called a Kazemi.
A what?
Kazemi?
And a Kazemi is when a Kazemi and it is when a planet passes through around the sun, like in a certain area where it is going to be cleansed. It's within 7 minutes of the arc of the sun. So it's when the planet Jupiter, it's the planet of growth. It expands and it becomes abundant. So it becomes one with the sun. So that's when you're seeing like, oh, boom.
Okay.
This is what we're talking about. Okay. A lot of people don't understand that. And when we speak of something called a retrograde, what happens is we have the sun here, and then we have the planet. So it looks like it's going backwards and it's standing still at some point when it's moving. And the reason we hear about Mercury so much is because it is the planet that most frequently goes into retrograde. It affects our communications. It affects our relationships. It brings that toxic X back in. It brings up our shadow work. It's the planet of war. That's why we kind of all get a little funny around that time of the time of the retrograde.
Yeah, we got a long retrograde this autumn. Long. It's like
yes,
the end of August through to
we
November.
actually have a Mercury retrograde coming up on
August 31st.
Yeah, and we have one July the 18th through the August 11th. So there's there's more than one planet that can be in retrograde. That's what people don't quite understand.
Okay. For instance, is Mercury just the strongest one?
Mercury is the most frequent one.
Okay. What is the impact with today for those people?
Yes. See, somebody's asking me, and it's not just going to impact today. It's going to go all the way through the 26th, and it will be incredibly auspicious because of the timing. This is happening during the Cancer new moon. So basically, it is going back into its home planet. Cancer, the moon is going into Cancer, which is its planet. And as Eva has taken my tarot classes, the moon tarot card, this one is associated with that particular planet, because each of the cards is actually also associated with a planet or a zodiac sign. And this one is the birth card of Cancer. Now, this is going to really affect you in those cardinal placements. So you'll have to look at each house, and if you have Cancer, Capricorn, Aries, Libra, Scorpio, or Pisces, because our water signs are also going to be affected because we are in a water sign movement. Does that make sense?
Okay.
It does to me.
So if nobody takes away from any of this, if you are one of those cardinal signs or a water sign, please make sure you are starting your manifestations. This is the night to manifest. Be real, be realistic. This is those small goals that we're trying to get. This is that, like, I need to get that raise at work. I need to get that new car. I need to move forward. I need to do this. I need to do that. This is that time that you want to get that done.
Okay, that's the part that we needed to
Yes. That's what I want to hear.
Did that one come out loud and clear?
Yes.
All the spirits allow me to have that moment. Thank you.
So what do you what is a good thing or a good way to manifest for the people that don't know that to do something?
Okay.
Yeah.
First thing I always tell people, never manifest money, ever. Because
Why?
money is a renewable resource. It only has an intrinsic value when we put something on it. As April was kindly talking about the gold trade and things like that, money is only as much as we make it. So
okay.
you want to ask for prosperity that will fund and fuel your lifestyle.
Okay.
Prosperity and abundance.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you. What do you suggest somebody that they could do around their house to help manifest if they're not, a big candle lover and stuff?
Sure. Like, we don't burn a lot of candles if you have birds. I have to go into the store in order to do it. You can speak something into existence. It's simple as just manifesting and speaking into it. You can get a plate of food together for your ancestors, ask them to help you through something. If you don't believe in religious things like that and you just want to do some kind of manifestation, you can light a white candle, you can speak into it, you can pour a glass of water, put it in the middle of the table, ask the spirits around you, your family, your ancestors, your guides, your guardians, whatever you believe in. And if you are Catholic, if you are Christian, go to church, say a prayer, write something down on a piece of paper, turn it to the right, write it down again, turn it to the right. We know what we're writing, or don't we, Eva? What are we making when we write something down on a piece of paper?
Future predictions.
Fold it up towards you, put it in something special, a wallet, a book, it doesn't matter. Forget about it, manifest.
There's a question here for you on that. I don't know if you can see it.
What about a mirror?
What about a mirror? Does that work as well as
water?
Oops, sorry. Well, there's all kinds of different, for lack of a better word, magic mirrors, or as we call them, gazing mirrors. Black is the safest. The reflective surface, like I have a, let me see. I have a tissue holder. You see how it's very clean, like it was something you would put your makeup on. This is not the type of mirror that you would stare into. A lot of people believe that they are portals, that you see the other side of yourself, you see another dimension, etc. There's a lot of superstitions around that. Water is just another form of divination. So you can look into water and you can gaze, and it's the same as whether you're looking at a crystal ball, fire, tarot cards. It's all kind of getting into that meditative state.
Thank you. Yes, I never. So the mirrors, could you use them to help manifest if that's all you have? You don't have a private table to put water on. Could you do something with a mirror? I say no.
You could, but I would be highly cautious about that. Some people consider those portals.
Yes.
Yeah, she just sort of said no. So new moon, there's a theory about new moon and manifestation every month with the moon cycles, and full moon being the closing out, and that this is something that is still used globally. Well, it's kind of crapped on, as woo woo for everybody else, but it's said that this is actual manifestation energy. So moons have the power to pull the tides, so they can change water. If humans are made mostly of water, why wouldn't it affect us? Why would it be so dumbed down as if it were nothing? Did you catch that?
I did. And
Okay.
absolutely, a lot of people don't understand that there are things derived from water.
Mhm.
If we even move this back to astrology a little bit,
Mhm.
moon is feminine. It has a cycle and it lasts a month. Femininity has a cycle. We have our menstrual cycle. We have our maiden, mother, and crone cycle. We have our, I'm not Wiccan, but women have a cycle. Men, or the masculine, is actually the sun. And when we go by our sun sign, we're actually going by a masculine system.
Mhm.
So if you go by your moon sign, you would be going by a feminine system.
Mm.
Oh,
That makes a lot of sense.
does.
So,
So the new moon once a month, do you have to do it on that particular day, or is it good for a few days to help manifest?
Well, I am not so much of a moon worshiper, but the people that do follow moon magic, they believe that that particular moon, you start your manifestation on there, and by the full moon, it is becoming abundant, it is becoming a thing, it is becoming physical and real. So that's how they use it. Now, in my practices, we go sometimes by days of the week if we are able to afford that luxury. If not, we do magic when we need to and when we have to at the time of when we need to do it.
Okay.
So when we manifest, or in my belief system, we do it a little bit different than just going by the cycle of the moon.
awesome. Hey, how many of you in the chat went ahead and checked out what your charts are? So,
Yeah. I think
anybody
you
want to
already
share?
did.
Yeah. So it's very, very interesting when you get that feedback. It's a lot different than you think it's going to be, isn't it? So, again, that's astrolabe, ALABE.com. Was it, you said it was cafe, what? Cafe, what is it, Eva?
Cafe
Cafe.
Astrology.
Cafeastrology.com. These are free.
Co-star.
Okay.
I have a question.
Co-star, Cafe Astrology, Time Passages.
Oh, time
Yeah.
passages.
Yeah. All you have to know is where you were born and what time you were born. So, what's your question, Eva?
I was curious. So a lot of people think astrology is bullshit. Right now we have, the age of Aquarius, we have the 100-year cycles. Farms, all these things were based on changing of the moon, the tides, seasons, all that. So what is your perspective with what you know and who you are in relation to what's going on in the world today? Do you think this is a 100-year cycle? Is it astrology based? Is it something we saw coming? Predictions? We know you're a predictor as well. You're a researcher.
Well,
Good. Got some thoughts rolling around in there, I can say. What's your perspective on with the way things are versus like astrology? Does it go together?
absolutely. I had a professor, and he was an astrophysicist, and he said, rocket science was born from astrology. It started there. And it just became superstition over time as we dove into science. And a lot of people believe that magic is just science that we don't understand quite yet.
What do you think?
Yeah, I gotta agree with that.
I think there's something to that. We do register on a nuclear scale. You put a Geiger counter by us where we set it off. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. How can we measure it?
Yeah, with quantum physics, just the very act of observing it changes it. So it's interesting. I have to agree with your professor. I think there are so many things that we have to get comfortable with not knowing. And I mean, look at all the things that we didn't used to know about that we now, we call them mythological or pseudoscience or, whatever we labeled them at the time, that are now verifiable science, like germ theory. So at one point we couldn't see germs. So, and then we labeled that a conspiracy theory. And now it's verifiable. Germ theory is an actual scientific application. So yeah, it's interesting. I just think there's a lot we don't understand quite yet. So to immediately dismiss it is crazy.
The pseudoscience, to me, is a term that was overused for many years now. Just to group everything together is something people don't believe in. So
yeah,
pseudoscience. I don't know if you can you hear me, Eden?
I can hear you. Yes.
Okay. I was saying that pseudoscience is seems like it's a term that people have used to group a lot of things together that they don't understand, that they can't prove or disprove.
Yeah.
So what were you saying, April, before?
Oh, I was just saying there were many things that have come along. There was a lot of theories that are now accepted as mainstream science. And I was just saying, germ theory was one of them. Just because we don't understand it right now doesn't mean that we should dismiss it or call it a conspiracy or crap all over it. So if you have an ounce of common sense and understand history and have an open mind and know how things work, then you would know that is the smarter thing to go about it. But astrology has been around for a very, very long time, and they found the ruins of many astrology and astronomy labs in multiple areas of the world. So this is something that has been used by cultures upon cultures upon cultures on how to predict. So, was that your screenshot here?
Yeah, I just saw it pop up.
Finally go through?
It did.
It did.
Here we go.
Okay.
You want to explain that?
So what's going on here? Now, if you see where it says Cancer, do you see the little dot in the?
Yes.
That is where our moon is, and the little dot middle that looks like an eyeball, that is where our sun is. That is the conjunction that I was talking about. That is our weird name. Do you remember what I called it?
Like Kijiji?
No, Kazimi.
Or what I called it.
Kazimi.
Kazimi.
Kissimmee, like Florida.
There you go.
Yes. Yes. Yes, hooray. I'm so glad. Okay, so this is what the sky looks like currently. And if you see all the planets are kind of on one side, it also tells you what the season is. Now, I don't want to go through too much of it because I'm going to lose everybody, but every little triangle, every little square, every little geometric shape has a name, has a degree, and an astrology. We'll go through all of that.
Well, come on.
There we go.
Okay.
So your astrologer will be able to give you a prediction personal chart. If you don't know where you were born, you can, or excuse me, if you don't know what time you were born, to get a very accurate reading, you will have to actually go and find out where you were born. And go back to where you were born and find out when.
That's no problem.
Being everything's on one side, and you said this is once every how often?
Years.
What was that?
12 years, a decade, a little over a decade. Yes. And it is a purification by the sun because it rotates, it's going past it. So it's a purification, kind of like when you sage your house, smudge your house, if you use sound, if you cleanse it with a mop. It depends on however you do your cleansing. Some people use coconuts. Some of us kick coconuts around the house. So it just depends on, what your culture. It's time to clean, everybody.
I'll kick a coconut.
So because of the way the planets are literally aligned, it's the pole and the forces that change people's astrology depending on which house or sign they fall under. Correct? Like that's the science behind it?
Yes, that is correct. It is where it is at the time, like where that planet is at the time of, say, your birth.
Okay.
So what would
when I was born, there was a full moon.
Oh gosh, I don't think I ever even looked at that on mine.
Yeah, I never looked either.
Yeah.
Yeah, Winona says some people, I believe some people are so quick to dismiss things that are like that are because they're afraid of the answers they will get, and it will change the system too much. So I think that's really interesting too. And War Doom says science is just magic we don't understand. It could be, yeah. I think a lot of times the reason we don't look for answers, like Winona said, is because we don't want to know the answers. Because I think you're right. It will change a lot of things. It will change the system, or it changes beliefs that we are deeply invested in. So, and rooted it, and there's finances in, and things like that. Yes.
And I don't want to segue off of astrology, but Winona brings a very, very good point. If you guys remember a couple of years ago, everybody was obsessed with Moldavite. They were saying Moldavite did this and Moldavite did that. But with the Tektite, which it is a meteor, and that's another reason I'm bringing it up, because we're speaking of astrology.
What was she gonna say? All right, what is Moldavite?
Moldavite is a stone. Okay.
There we go.
There you go. So what is Moldavite?
So Moldavite is a Tektite, which is a meteor, and it crashed into close to Russia. So as we all know, and I know April talks political on here, so I want to say Emperor Putin's mad at us. So we don't really get any more Moldavite because he owns the Moldavite. And that's why it's so expensive now. Kind of like a hearing aid. It's very dark. It looks black to the naked eye, but when you hold it up, it'll look like glass. That is the closest thing on Earth that it is related to is glass. It will have imperfections such as bubbles and things because it came down super hot, crashed, and people use it and they say it's a transformation stone, but really what it does, it's like a hearing aid. You're putting it on, or you're putting your glasses on, and you're starting to see things and people for who and what they are, and you start to remove it, but you think, oh my God, my life's upside down. No, honey, you're this is part of shadow work, or whatever you want to call it. This is part of your life moving forward. And sometimes change is uncomfortable.
Isn't that true? So, is there anything else besides Moldavite that can be used with similar powers that is on Earth? Is there anything?
Is there what? What was the last part?
Is there anything on Earth that would come close to that kind of power?
On Earth, meaning like Florida.
Like, you want to know what comes in for change? Yeah. Well, psychic stones and protection. Honestly, labradorite.
Labradorite.
Hey, there you go. Look.
Labradorite. Nice.
Okay.
A nice moonstone.
Oh, geez. Okay, this is interesting tonight.
I'm
We're gonna have to have her go to your house and do a take two.
I don't know if it'd be any better. Or have her come to my house. We could do it here next time.
Yeah.
Oh, she's on the move.
Let me Let me go into yet another room and see if it works here.
She reminds me of like Skyping in 2007, right?
Oh yeah. I wonder if this is what it's like talking to another country on Skype. Yeah.
No, because we figured that out by now.
Yeah. Are you sure?
Our phones do everything except allow us to talk to anybody else clearly, usually.
Right.
So I moved completely into a way out of the store. So people that don't know me, my store is in that direction. I am in my office, and there's no spiritual stuff in here. Just
you,
except you.
You, the portal.
They'll follow me.
You are the most followed medium portal person I have ever come across.
Will you explain what a medium is? Explain a medium for people who don't necessarily understand it.
I am a Casadega medium.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked in Casadega, or Lilydale as they call it. I think my other spot was better.
Okay.
Well, welcome back.
I don't know. We'll try it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, April, I asked, what exactly is medium?
So, a medium is somebody who speaks to the dead.
Do they follow every medium?
Of course they do. All of them.
So, and this is something that you're born with this talent?
There is a little bit of an argument. People are unsure. Some people believe that you can be born. Other people believe that you can become a medium if you die and then get brought back to life, or you've had a close brush with death.
Ah, okay. That makes sense.
Every medium is a psychic, but not every psychic is a medium. So sometimes that's why you'll see on a sign, psychic medium, so that person speaks to the dead. Sometimes you see psychic spiritual advisor, that person is focused on you in the present or the future. They're not necessarily focused on those that have crossed.
Okay, that makes sense. So
what do you consider yourself?
Me? I'm a psychic medium. So generically, if we're talking about how I do my readings, so I can mix a lot of different techniques. I can read bones. I can read tarot cards. I can speak dead.
Yeah, and she reads pets too. She I remember.
So it just.
And you read pets.
Yes, yes. I read the pets. It's kind of like the medium, I heard. And yes, I remember read the side.
So yeah, so Eden came to my house. I have 3 rescue animals. Don't know where they came from, but she read my pets for me, and it was very enlightening. So it helped because I was having issues with a couple of them. So yes, thank you for that. That actually was very tremendously helpful. And Bigwig, thank you for being here. We appreciate you. So
Yeah,
well,
sorry.
that's
It's
okay.
a terrible would
Well, we won't take up too much more of your time. I know we're having a problem with connecting, and maybe we can bring you back on a day where you have a tight, a better, faster connection, so that we can talk more and pick your brain a little
Or
bit more.
we could have you, if you're welcome to come here, and we can sit in 2 different rooms and do it too if you'd like.
you'll have to keep me like you have to put
Uh-huh.
the camera like far away. So you might have to sit me in another room
We can
so
do
it
that.
doesn't interfere.
We
Or
could
is
do
it
that.
sounding better now?
Yeah, well, of course you're clear now.
Yeah.
But
Well, we appreciate your time, and thank you for coming on and explaining some of this.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, seriously. So, and thank you
that's
for
where to find
explaining,
her.
rising, and yeah, where can people find your information or find you?
They can find me at edensessential.com.
You also have a TikTok that looks pretty good.
Yes, I do. I do some
Eden's
funny
House of
things on there.
Conjure.
Mhm.
That's cool. So that's
I like
Eden's
it.
HAUS House of Conjure on
Yes.
TikTok. Go check her out. That just with a name like that, there's got to be some good stuff on there. So
Yes.
if you're into the fun, the dark, the crystals, the mediumship, tarot, all the very very cool netherworld and all of that, definitely check out Eden's Essential Elements. And
Mhm.
she's got a brick and mortar shop in Newport Richey. You can peek in there and see what she's got. So
You're amazing. I'm glad you're here, and we'll have to try this again too. So.
Aaron goes, oh, the chart reminds me of math class. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I understand. So seriously, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate your time. So
You're welcome.
everybody,
Thank you.
yes, everybody, thank you for hanging in there and being so, calm and patient with our connection errors. We appreciate it. And
Absolutely.
Alex, finalizes a word of caution. It should still be noted that one's astrology shouldn't dictate one's actions. Could not agree more. Matter of fact, knowledge is power. Sometimes when you learn things, you have the option to send them another way. So yes, I agree with that. So thank
Absolutely.
you for being here. We are live on Tuesdays, so we will see you next Tuesday. And thank you to everyone who is here. So
Hang in there,
mwah.
Aiden. All right.
Yes, thank you.
Hang on a second.